a kid ain't even faithful to his girlfriend. You think he gonna be faithful to a school? Like, come on, man. Like that's like an emotional thing. You know what I wish the NCAA would do, honestly. If you're committed to somewhere, you can't go to no other visits. I wish that would be like if you committed, that means you committed. You can't go to no other visit. So why would you be committed, but you still let kids go to other places? That don't make sense. So that means they just playing. They just playing. And one thing about it, we're not an ATM. That's not gonna happen here. If you come to Colorado to play football for me and the Colorado Buffaloes because you really want to play football and receive a wonderful education, and all the business stuff is going to be handled on the back end if that's the case. But we are not an ATM. You're not coming here to get rich unless you really come here with a plan to go to the NFL and get your degree. Not to come here and be money bag yo.
Is Deion Sanders in trouble? Or have recruits figured out that they want the big money from NIL? And is that a problem with the Colorado football team? Or is there some other turmoil that we're not seeing? But in any event, we need to find out what's going on with the Colorado football program. Did Jason Whitlock's comments and constant attacks on Coach Prime cause people to turn their back on him? With Colorado losing its last game, the Buffaloes didn't beat a single bowl-eligible team this year. The Buffaloes started out strong. They beat TCU, but TCU ended up 5-7. The Buffaloes beat Nebraska. Looked like it was a great win. Nebraska turned out to be 5-7. Then they beat CSU. 5-7. And of course, they beat up on Arizona State, which ended up being 3-9. They went 0-6 against bowl-eligible teams. Although things seem to be falling apart with the Colorado football program, Coach Prime is still upbeat. He seems to think that things are still on track and that he expects to surprise some people in the very near future.
Trust me, we're in the process of this is Coach Ray, this is his time, this is his moment, this is where he excels. This is where the scouting department, Corey, this is where they start doing their thing. We already know what's going to come probably in the next few days to a week and a half. We already know what's going to transpire. You guys just you're going to be pleased with what's coming. I promise you that. But everything you see that we have a lack thereof, a deficit, we're going to feel that need.
He was asked at his recent press conference what kind of coaching changes he'll be making.
How many changes do you expect to the staff in general this summer?
A few.
Including offensive coordinator?
Excuse me?
Including OC?
I don't know about that one. Yeah.
Coach,
how you gonna ask me that?
While we obviously don't know all of the changes or what changes will be made with the Colorado football staff, there's one change we are aware of. Hall of Famer Warren Sapp has been signed and has agreed to come on as the new defensive line coach for the Colorado Buffaloes. This is a significant, substantial upgrade to the Colorado Buffaloes football program. In that same presser, Coach Prime was asked what kind of players does he want to bring in.
I learned a tremendous amount of patience, and I learned really what we need in the character of the young men that we need. I learned so many things about what we need and do not deviate from that. And we're going to stick to that.
Never one to shy away from controversy or adversity, Deion Sanders says he has learned so much from what he's had to go through this season, his first season as head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes. But he seems quite confident that he knows where the story is going and how it's going to end.
At the beginning of the season, I kind of saw around the corner. I think I kind of forewarned you guys at the Oregon game. So you better get us now because I know what we have in house. I know what we don't have. I know what we're lacking tremendously, and that was a prelude to some things that kind of fell apart as well. That they really dominated our weaknesses. But I love everything that transpired. I could not grow if I didn't go through what we've gone through. I could not prosper if I didn't glean from what transpired this season. I could not be who I am if I didn't have these tasks at hand. I'm truly thankful. This is not the first challenge I've had in my life, but I know how I finish. I know how this is going to end. I promise you, I know how this is going to end.
But the news isn't good right now for Coach Prime. He's losing recruits left and right. So in this article, you see Winston Watkins Jr., a 5-star recruit for 2025, has decommitted from Deion Sanders in Colorado. I highlighted a few passages from the article. A highly touted recruit has decommitted from the Colorado Buffaloes. Wide receiver Winston Watkins Jr., who has a 5-star rating by Rivals.com, said Sunday that he is rescinding his commitment from head coach Deion Sanders. The number 3 receiver and number 1 player in Florida for the class of 2025 originally pledged to Colorado in December. Now here's where he defines why he left. I didn't want to limit the opportunities I already have because when you're committed, some schools try not to talk to you. Well, that's called a commitment. I have a lot of schools. I want to make sure I'm still good with them because, quote, I don't know if Prime will still be there when I get there. Remember, Coach Prime was saying that some schools were using this to get recruits away from Deion Sanders in Colorado by saying he's not going to be there. He's going to take the Texas A&M job. He's going to be moving on. It worked with this kid. This kid said, hey, I don't know if he's going to be there. I got to back out. Then over this past weekend, 4-star quarterback recruit Antwann Hill Jr. is the latest to decommit from Deion Sanders in Colorado. I've highlighted some information down here. Deion Sanders has lost a commitment from another top recruit. On Sunday, 4-star quarterback Antwann Hill said he was rescinding his commitment to the Colorado Buffaloes. Hayes Fawcett of On3 posted the news on X, formerly known as Twitter, that Hill Jr. had decommitted from the program. The quarterback shared the post with 2 praying hand emojis. So he's like, I'm out. Another big one, lost. And then this morning, boom, another hammer drops. Breaking, class of 2024, Danny O'Neal tells me he has decommitted from Colorado. The 6'1", 190-pound quarterback from Indianapolis had been committed to the Buffaloes since March. He's now decommitted. Further in the story, he was an Elite 11 finalist, and Colorado lose their 2025 and 2024 quarterbacks in back-to-back days. That has to be absolutely devastating to the Colorado football program. I'm not sure. Earlier in this video, you saw where Deion Sanders says he had some things coming. I don't think he foresaw that he was losing Danny O'Neal as well. And then Brian Howell writes, and Brian Howell is the beat reporter for Colorado, Colorado no longer has a quarterback commit for 2024. Nobody's coming in. As of right now, if Shedeur Sanders can't play, he's going to have to go with whoever's on his roster. There is no quarterback commit coming in right now. And then yesterday, Tim Brewster, the tight ends coach, he resigned. The first roster move of the Colorado Buffaloes. Tim Brewster, he's out. So you can see things are in flux with the Colorado football team. I'm not sure what Coach Prime has up his sleeves, but he still remains extremely confident. I don't know if that's just his style, if that's him, or does he indeed have some big name players coming to fill the gaps with the Colorado football program.
Especially without some things that I know we're gonna get commitments from in probably about 10 days. I like that.
Anyone who's watched my videos, you know I stand behind Coach Prime. I've been a supporter since day one, and I haven't changed. I am firmly behind Deion Sanders and everything he's doing at the Colorado football program. I wish him nothing but the best. I think he can pull this around. After all, this year is a success. He won 4 games. That's a 400% improvement before he got there. Let me know what you think about Coach Prime, and are you still behind him if you were behind him to begin with, or are you still on the hater side where you think he's just a big mouth and just causing a lot of steam and it's just overhyped? Either way, I'd love to know what you think about Deion Sanders, the Colorado football program, and is he going to be able to take this program to the next level? Talk to you soon.